Good evening everybody, Matt here and welcome to this brand new episode of Top 6 Fragrances. In this series we're going to be talking about 6 of my favourite vanilla fragrances. Now, vanilla is a note which I've always enjoyed in a fragrance. I've always found it a very comforting, smooth and very sweet note. It's just something I really admire in a fragrance and it's just beautiful. So these are my top 6 favourite vanilla fragrances. Now the first fragrance on this list is none other than a fragrance that comes from the house of Alyssa Ashley, and it came out in the year 1990, and this is a fragrance simply called Vanilla. Now I've had this fragrance for about 5 months now, and let me just say that I'm really enjoying this fragrance. I don't really wear it just on its own. I actually like to mix this fragrance with a few other fragrances. For example, one of the fragrances that I really enjoy using this for is Kouros. It actually works very well with Kouros, and because obviously Kouros doesn't have vanilla in it, but when you mix it with this, it creates a very nice smell. So it's really nice. It reminds you of it's not like a kind of bourbon sort of vanilla smell. It actually smells a little bit like cookies, a little bit like icing cakes, maybe a little bit sickly, but I think it's really nice. One spray and it's just nice. I think if you overspray it can be a little bit cloying, but it's a very nice fragrance. It's very comforting to wear, and I really enjoy wearing this at night time actually. Like say if I just want to be lazy and just, you know, if I'm really tired, it really does well for that. So yeah, so there we have it. Number 6 goes to Vanilla by Alyssa Ashley. Now the next fragrance on this list, guys, we're going to go straight to a fragrance from the house of Givenchy. This is a fragrance called Pi. Now this is an oriental woody fragrance, but it also has the note of vanilla in it, and the vanilla in this fragrance is beautiful. You don't really get the vanilla, well, like say if you spray it on your skin, you don't get the vanilla say after maybe 10 to 20 minutes, but if you smell it out of the atomizer, you can smell the powdery, very sweet vanilla. I mean, it's not like Alyssa Ashley's vanilla, where it's very sweet and kind of has a little bit like a cake vibe. This one is pretty much like a bourbon vanilla, and it's really beautiful. But we're also getting notes of the sandalwood in there, which creates a bit of sweetness, and it's a beautiful fragrance, guys. So, number 5 on this list goes to the one and only Pi by Givenchy. This fragrance came out in 1999. Next on this list, guys, we're going to go straight to the house of Davidoff. Now, this is a fragrance from the house which does not really get mentioned a lot. If anything, it's Cool Water that gets the most publicity. But this is one which I've always liked. You probably just saw it there. Well, this fragrance came out in 1986, and this is the original fragrance for men. Well, not the original, but one of the originals. This is a fragrance called Zeno. Now, this fragrance has notes of tobacco, sandalwood, oak moss patchouli, and of course, vanilla. The vanilla in this fragrance is beautiful, but I think what makes it even nicer is the fact that there's also tonka bean, and the tonka bean mixed with the vanilla gives it a really rich feel. It's a beautiful fragrance. Really like this one, and I guess in a way it's a nice alternative to Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. Say if you cannot afford Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford, this is a nice kind of alternative. Like, they don't smell the same, certainly don't smell the same, but it's the same type of vibe. Really nice. I really like the vanilla in this though, because it's the dry down. So when you first spray it, you get the patchouli, the tobacco, and the amber. Well, the amber's more in the middle, but say like after about 2 hours, the vanilla in this fragrance works like magic. Really nice fragrance, guys. So I would highly recommend you check out Zeno by Davidoff. Beautiful fragrance. Now we're coming down to the last 3, guys, and this one comes from the house of Giorgio Armani. I actually showed you guys this fragrance in my collaboration I did with the Mr. Linnea Smith. This is a fragrance that comes from Giorgio Armani, and it's called Armani Code Ultimate. And I remember the first time I ever smelled this fragrance, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Really fell in love with it. This has a very powdery, creamy vanilla sort of smell to it. And it's pretty much the same as Armani Code Original. It has that Armani Code DNA inside of it, but instead of the citrus, instead of the lemon note that Armani Code has, it's replaced with vanilla. So really nice. This is an oriental fragrance. It's very sensual, could be considered romantic, but it works very well for being casual as well. And the vanilla is just gorgeous. Like, it's powdery, it's sweet, but more than anything, it's very rich and it actually smells very realistic. So guys, I would highly recommend you check out this amazing fragrance called Armani Code Ultimate from Giorgio Armani. Please check it out. And as I believe, it came out in 2012. Okay, so now we come to the last two. Now, this was actually a sample that I got off Travis from Zenobia Scents. This fragrance is beautiful and it's earned the place for number 2 because the vanilla in this fragrance smells so realistic. This is Vanilla Flash by Towerville. Wow. Literally, oh my goodness, this fragrance is just divine. Like, I'm actually gonna spray a little bit here. Like, this one simply just smells of vanilla. And we're also getting little slight notes of patchouli in there as well, but the vanilla is what's really pungent about this fragrance. It's just gorgeous, guys. This fragrance is so, so nice. It smells really, really realistic. Like, not only are we getting a bit of vanilla in there, but we're also getting some other notes like tonka bean. There's a bit of anise in there as well. And we're also getting some lavender. So it's a gorgeous scent. Like, I remember the first time I smelled this and I instantly fell in love with it. Like, literally. Like, that's why it's in number 2 in this list, because it's so different. And it is easily one of my favorite vanilla fragrances of all time. And someday, I don't really know when, but I will be wanting a fragrance like this in my collection. I will be getting myself a bottle because, as far as I'm concerned, I think Towerville fragrances only come in 30ml bottles. But whatever. So number 2 goes to Towerville's Vanilla Flash, an amazing fragrance. Now number 1, guys, the fragrance we've all been waiting for. Well, this one, it's probably not going to be it's probably not going to be a surprise to much of you because this fragrance not only has the most amazing vanilla smell I've ever smelled in any fragrance, but it's also the most unique smell I've ever tried in my life. This is a fragrance called Balenciaga Pour Homme. I knew you guys were probably going to be expecting it, but superb scent. Now, I'm going to spray a little bit here actually. Now, what makes Balenciaga Pour Homme so unique is the fact that it's timeless. You know, like, this fragrance was discontinued in, I believe, 1998. Came out in 1990, so it was out for about 8 years. Not long at all. It is dated, but it just smells so timeless, you know? And not only does it have amazing vanilla, but it also has some beautiful patchouli. It's also got a bit of cinnamon in there as well. But, oh my goodness, it's just amazing. Like, if you've never tried Balenciaga Pour Homme before, you seriously need to, because it's one of those fragrances which really gives you a bit of nostalgia from old school. I mean, I guess you could say that about any old school scent, but with Balenciaga Pour Homme, it reminds me of my childhood. Like, you know, like, I remember going to the mall, like the mall that you guys probably saw in the birthday day out. It's a place called the Metro Centre, by the way, and it's one of the biggest shopping centres in Europe. Well, in the 90s, it used to be really old-fashioned, obviously, and it was just so much better. Like, there was more shops there, and it was much more pretty. They had, like, waterfalls and real palm trees. Sorry, my screen went dark. More, like, you know, it just looked more old-fashioned. And when I smell this fragrance, it instantly takes me back to the smell of the interior. Like, sometimes, if you would walk past a department store, this would be the type of fragrance that they would be spraying, and it's just marvelous. I'm so lucky to have this fragrance in my collection because it's so rare, it's so expensive as well, and it's just beautiful. So guys, thank you so much for watching my top 6 favorite fragrances for the vanilla genre. I really hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think of this video, and please give me your top 6 fragrances for vanilla. And please, if you guys have any questions, ask me, because I will definitely get back to you. So guys, thank you so much for watching this brand new episode of my top 6 fragrances. Take care of yourselves, keep smelling good, and bye-bye for now.